Hello, YouTube. Skip the Wolf here, and my hair is a little messy, but that's going to be okay. But I'm going to talk about something. In the stream, the CD, DVD, VHS pickup stream I did at 1 in the morning, I said I had two CDs that I was going to save for another stream, and this is a stream that I'm going to show them off in. So, yeah, definitely do that because I'm going to be talking about like some Christian music and stuff, and I'm going to be delving into my past and like my beginnings as a music person, how I was a Christian music fan and stuff like that. And that's segued into the music I listen to now. So yeah. So what I got yesterday are two Wow Hits compilations. So these are Wow Hits '08, Wow Hits '09, 2008, 2009, of course. And this is like the Christian equivalent of Now, which I do probably just for archival reasons. I do when I get some Now hits stuff. So we'll start with showcasing a bit of hits 2008. Now the reason I got this was because I know from some YouTuber that this has a screamless edit of "Breathe Into Me" by Red, and I've been looking for that version, and I did not know that the screamless version was on this. So at some point, I'm going to pop in this CD and find out if that's actually real on it. So I'm not going to show the disc or anything because I'm just going to talk about what's on the track listing and all that stuff. So yeah, there's this like I'm not like huge into like Christian adult contemporary stuff. Not really, especially nowadays. I think it's so generic. I guess it goes better back in the day, but I'm not huge on the stuff that's on the yellow disc. Like some of it, I'm pretty good. I think. Like there's stuff like Third Day. I am a Third Day fan. They were one of the first bands I ever got into. Fun fact. Um, some of this other stuff, um, it's fine. It's harmless, I guess. Chris Tomlin, like, he's a huge Christian music icon. Like Mercy Me, they're huge. Jeremy Camp and all that stuff. Like he's solid. Like Stay is a decent album. There's other stuff. Toby Mac stuff like Momentum's actually not bad. And Jars of Clay is a good band. Definitely good for the good for that style of music. Sanctus Real is okay. I mean, like, I'm not into like the pop stuff really, like Mandisa and stuff. Like, she was on American Idol, I think. Natalie Grant. This is stuff my mom listens to, but mostly like I kind of don't unless I want to. I don't unless I'm with her or with when I'm with like at a relative's house because a lot of my family is Christian and I am too. So whatever. On this disc, on this album, wow, it's 2008. There's some weird stuff on here. Pure NRG. I don't know what that is. I think it might be some. I don't know what it is. So I think it's one of those like children band or something like that. I don't have any interest in that whatsoever. So whatever. Russian Fools. I do remember them. So yeah, that's why it's '08. I guess I'll show the discs. That's what a typical WoW hits CD would look like. If I could get the other one. This is. It's just a plain disc with the track listing and stuff on it. So yeah, that's pretty much what that is. And the credits here on the back. I'm just looking at it. WoW hits 2008, and then I have Wow Hits 2009 on here as well. And I remember seeing this at Family Christian Store. I think this one sold a ton of copies. Because I remember seeing this on the Billboard 200 back when compilations went gold. Remember that? Again, like a lot of these, like if I heard them in my mom, through my mom or something like that, like that the same list of artists, but Jeremy Camp, Chris Tomlin, and all that stuff, Natalie Grant. If I heard them with my mother, I mean, like that's fine. I get that's definitely fine. Like this is the first time Francesca Bastelli was like breaking out in that scene, 10th Avenue North. I remember hearing them a lot. That song "By Your Side" was played so much back in the day, and it's fine. It's definitely good. "Give Me Your Eyes." I heard that song a ton. Um, they also have Fireflight, which is a okay band that I have some nostalgia for because they were one of my first, another one of my first bands. A lot of them were Christian, so. And then Red, of course, already over is on here. Um, David Crowder Band is another one that like is played was played a ton on stations like Air One back in the day when they played like Christian rock and like Christian CHR, which is kind of like hot pop or something like that. Like of course you get typical like Chris Tomlin and stuff like Matthew West. Like again, a lot of these I would think are fine if I heard them with mom, but like my mother and stuff and my family. But like I don't actively listen to a lot of Christian contemporary music. Like it's just not the scene that I'm in, not the style of music that I'm into as much as I am Chris like hard rock, like and especially like progressive metal and like a lot of metal subgenres and stuff like that that I'm into nowadays. This is still a decent find for sure, and it's basically the same exact thing on the discs, pretty much. You basically just get disc one and disc two, which disc one was always like for the adults and stuff, like for the older audience. But like a lot of these more contemporaries, and then on the second disc you usually get like the rock and electro pop or something like that, like and punk rock and all that. There was a ton of Christian punk rock bands back in the day. Hawk Nelson, Stellar Cart, which is kind of like Christian Simple Plan, which is weird. Like, like I'm not a fan of Stellar Cart, really. I guess. So yeah, and Switchfoot's on here too. Switchfoot's a good band. So yeah, and Reliant K, they're okay. They're fine. Whatever. So that's why it's 2009. So that brings me to what I was going to talk about in this. Like these compilations that I have here, the Wow Hits, the X series, like these were huge. Like these were very significant to me in my beginning of my music listening phase, my rock music listening phase, of course, because like I was like I found one of these X compilations at Berean. There was a store named Berean Christian Bookstore, and I was kind of like they had a music section, and I found one of them there back when I was like 13, 14. And so I'm going to share with you some nostalgia by going through the X series here, because these albums are kind of nostalgic to me in some way, even though I have some of the bands that are on like already on CD and all that stuff. So we're just gonna go from the X 2003 to X 2012 because that's when they stopped. Okay, so here we have X 2003. Yeah, this is. What's interesting is they tried to follow in a similar vein as the WoW hits, where you would have disc one and disc two, and I don't think there was like any like difference between them. They were all pretty much rock music. Like you got heavier stuff like Demon Hunter is on here for if Zacky's watching. That's I know he's not huge into Demon Hunter as huge anymore, but like I'm just pointing that out because like he thinks it's underrated and all that stuff. But anyway, you still have like the more heavier stuff like Pillar, like back in the day, like Thousand Foot Crutch was a mainstay on this series. Cutlass was for sure, and um, like other stuff on your Skillet back when they back in the Alien Youth days. So they have "Kill Me, Heal Me," which was a song on Alien Youth, and it's on here. And like I said about the punk rock thing, there was tons of that MXPX Slick Shoes, which I think is punk rock. I'm not sure. And there's a lot of like not so well known bands on here too, like Justified, Cadet, Holland, um, uh, what else is PAX 217? That's a new metal. The Benjamin Gate, they're underrated. I've heard some of their stuff. They're definitely. I'd like to get one of their albums. Benjamin Gate. Um, Peace of Mind. That's when the rapper KJ52 started a band. The guy that everyone thought was trying to rip off Eminem and stuff because of that song Dear Slim. That's what it is. And then like he was actually my first exposure to music in general, somewhat. So yeah, you have Audio Adrenaline. I kind of like Audio Adrenaline. They're pretty decent. So yeah, like OC Supertones are on here. They're kind of a punk ska band. I remember my cousin gave me a CD of OC Supertones, so I still have that like and all that stuff. So yeah, take a look. Here's the disc, all that stuff. And the second disc, which if I could get it, some of them open weirdly. Actually, the second disc is actually what it is. X 2003. That's just the reverse colors of the other X disc, which was like the white X. No, it was like the yellowish vanilla colored X. And then the other disc was like it reversed. So that's X 2003. There's a lot of music on there. They would do this every year, like starting from then. And here's X 2004. They have a different color scheme on this one. It's like blue, and they have a different design too. So this one, it's X 2004 on here. As the back. You Skillet, Cutlass, Thousand Foot Crutch. Those bands, Pillar, um, Jeremy Camp, and they have a 12 Stone song on here, Crash, which was the opening track to their self-titled album. So that's interesting. Like 12 Stones, like never really was as Christianized as some of the other stuff that's on here, but they were still a part of it in some way. Like there are Christian references in The Way I Feel, which has kind of not aged well as much, but like whatever. Like you also get some stuff. Super Chick, they're kind of cheesy. Not interested in getting a lot of Super Chick stuff, although I do like Stand in the Rain. That's kind of a guilty pleasure. Like and KJ52 appears on Rock On. He did some rock stuff like I remember because I got into like KJ52 when I was 10 because there was like a member of my family who knew that I liked rap back in the day. And so I got It's Pronounced 5-2 on my birthday 10 years in when I was 10 years old. And so that's how I became familiar with him. And there's also some other stuff on here. Big Dismal, which is like one of those like post grunge acts back in the day. Like that had that Creed kind of voice, kind of sort of. That was a big deal back in the day. So yeah. So this is what it would look like on the CD itself. Like it would be this, like that. The X would be on the disc and all that stuff. And then in the booklet itself would be like the list of the artists that are on here and all that stuff. And sometimes there'd be an ad for something. So that's X 2004. I'm not going to show the discs and the booklets for all of them. Like, if you want to know what a typical booklet for an X compilation looks like, if you're not familiar with the X, this is what it would look like. It would have like either a picture of the album cover or it would have a picture of the artist. They have a picture of the artist for Toby Mac on here, which I'm not huge into Toby Mac. I said I like Momentum and I like some of his songs, but like I'm not huge into everything. Of course, this shows FN Static in it. That was Trevor of that was Crutch's side project, which was more punk rock. So that's pretty cool. This is what a layout for one of these would for like at least until 2008, which was when they started changing it up. The 2009 one they changed up. Like we'll get to that soon in this video. That's X 2004. Now we have X 2005, and this one has 21 songs on it. It says advertises as 17 Christian rock hits because there's 17 of them, and then they add bonus tracks on them. Like on that one, the bonus track was Cross Movement. I don't know Cross Movement. And I also forgot to mention there were bonus tracks on X 2003 as well. Anne Berlin was on one of them. A band named Lutheran Blue was on one of them. Starflyer 59, and I think it was Watashi Wa or something like that. One of those bands. So there's 4 bonus tracks on here. As you can see, 4 bonus tracks from those bands. I'll talk about them soon. And all the typical mainstays of this series. Relate K, Pillar, Toby Mac, Seventh Day Slumber, Thousand Foot Crutch, Jeremy Camp. Seventh Day Slumber actually didn't appear on a lot of them. I just said their name. Cutlass, of course. Under Oath. This was their first appearance on Under Oath, and it's funny. Under Oath's now doing this like not Christian thing, which whatever. It's still pretty good. Of course, Skillet. You get Hawk Nelson. This is their first time. Switchfoot. And Falling Up, which is one of those underrated like new metal acts that's in vain to like Linkin Park and stuff. You can check out Falling Up if you want, like because they're kind of their new metal phase is interesting, and then they switched over, and now they're not a band anymore. But like it would be interesting if you would check it out. So yeah, whatever. And KJ52 is on here with that song, with a song he did. I know this because he did it with the dude from Cutlass. Are You Real was on this, and the bonus tracks are 7 Places, Dismas, which that first album was terrible, honestly. But you also have Kids in the Way and House of Heroes. And House of Heroes is interesting. Like I would like to get some of their album. Like The End Is Not the End, I think. Which a lot of the Christian music sites were like all in so much praise about that. I remember that. So yeah, that's X 2005. Same layout as the other one. Next up is the first one I got. I just said this X 2006. This one doesn't have a Skillet song on here. That's kind of interesting. That's the back of it. And this is the first time Barlow Girl appeared on VAR. I'm not a fan of Barlow Girl whatsoever. I don't care about him. Third Day also appears on here. It's a bonus track from that Wherever You Are album called Falling to Pieces. That's a good song, I think. Like, it was like... that song was on like a alternate edition of that album, from my knowledge. Day of Fire, I forgot to mention them. That was Josh Brown's side project after he left the band Full Devil Jacket, which was a new metal act, and then he started Day of Fire, which was like his Christian band. He did 3 albums. It was yawning. He did 3 albums, and then that's it. And then he did the Full Devil Jacket stuff again. So yeah, typical stuff you get on here. With like I don't need to say Cutlass and Toby Mac 1000 for Crutch and all that stuff, Jeremy Camp and all that, whatever. And you also have the bonus tracks. There's 3 bonus tracks. Red Already Over, which good song. This was the first time they appeared. Fighting Instinct, which was the dude from Deciphered Downs. Like it was he came in as the lead vocalist after their original vocalist left, and then they did Crash and then all the other albums. And then this was his band before that, so Back to You, Mainstay. They're solid. Had to yawn. Well-Meaning Fiction, that's a solid album. They have some good stuff on there. Disciple first comes on here. The Wait Is Over. Like they're like a huge Christian music act, like somewhat. So yeah, it's basically what you get. This is X 2006. Next up, we have X 2007, and we're back to having 21 tracks because there's 4 bonus tracks on here. That's the back cover, of course. Of course, you get some typical acts. Skillet returns again, rebirthing. And Thousand for Crushes on here, of course. Newsboys appears. Somewhat. Cutlass, of course, appears. Thousand for Crush, I just said. FM Stack is here on Nick again, his side project. And this is the first time Emery showed up. Emery's actually a pretty good band, I think. Demon Hunter. They also appeared on X 2006 and with 1000 Apologies, and they appear here with Undying. So that's a pretty cool thing. Like, in the bonus tracks, Last Tuesday, I'm not familiar with them as much. Future Forestry. Yeah, I don't know them. Run Kid Run, I do like. I have Love at the Core. House of Heroes, like I said, I want to check out more of. So that's, yeah. I'm yawning like crazy today. Oh, so that's X 2007. Now, X 2008. No bonus tracks are on this one, oddly enough. And the spine layout is different. As you can see on there, X 2008. It's okay. You still get the typical bands that you get on this one, like Thousand Foot Crutch and Cutlass and stuff like that. Like you get Family Force 5, which Family Force 5, they're not good. They have a couple okay songs, but their discography is pretty bad, I should say. Not that good. Leland, which is a worship band, I guess. All the typical stuff, like, Falling Up. Toby Mac, Thousand Foot Crutch. Light K. Cutlass Hawk Nelson, Red, Skillet. Flyleaf makes their first appearance on here, which is interesting. Flyleaf. Pretty solid band. But they were Anne Berlin. Don't forget Anne Berlin. Anne Berlin's a pretty good band as well. Cities is a great album, I think. Blueprints for the Black Market's pretty good. Never Take Friends or Personals, okay. There are other albums. I need to get more Anne Berlin stuff, like Vital and like that one. What's it called? The one with the Lowborn. That's what it was called. So yeah, Switchfoot is on here as well. Yeah, this was good. This was actually my third X CD, X 2008. So yeah, that's good. Now we have X 2009. Now this is interesting because it comes with a DVD. Unlike any of the other, I think X 2005 had an edition where it came with a DVD. This one was issued with a DVD. So, and they had like standalone DVDs and stuff for them, which I do kind of want to get, honestly. I tried to get X 2004 so many freaking times. But whatever. This is X 2009, and I switched the case on this because a long time ago. So there's a sticker that says X 2003 on it because this was originally the case that X 2003 came in, and I switched it up. So whatever. Yeah, you still get the typicals and stuff on here. Like you get two bonus tracks on here, and then the DVD has some videos and stuff. Like that's cool. You have again your typical acts. Bands like Capital Lights, which they're pretty good. I do like Capital Lights. And Philmont, not a huge fan of them. Since October, that's a great band. I wonder why they haven't done anything since. They've only have like 2 albums, so whatever. And then on the DVD, you have some other new acts as well, like that aren't on any of them. Like Demon Hunter appears with the video for "Carry Me Down," which that's interesting. Hold on. This will have Seabird. They're okay. Article 1, I haven't heard much. Run Kid Run, Philmont since October. Capital Lights, Children 18-3, which I would be interested to hear more of this. They're pretty good. All My Balloons, that video, I remember that video. And then Ruth, which I don't remember a lot of. I know Back to the Five, and I know it's that song they had on Air 1, and that's it. So, with this one, the layout changed. Now it's this instead of like the X on it. Like, and then the DVD looks the same as well. Oh, wait a minute. The DVD is actually the one that I have on here. CD's back here. And then hold on a second. You get the booklet, which also looks different. And I didn't show the booklets because some of them have writing in them. So I'll just show what a basic layout would look like for this one. And you can see here, um, it's funny because they made some mistakes on the copyrights on here. They said, like, for example, for Desperate Times, Desperate Measures by Under Oath. It says, the copyright says 2007. And if you can't see that there, I wrote in 2008 with pencil for some reason because I used to do that sometimes. I used to write in the booklets and stuff. The copyright says 2007, so then this came out like late into this album, Lost in Sound Separation. That came out in 2008, so I don't know why they put 2007 on there because it did not come out in 2007. And then Live Free or Let Me Die, Skillet. That came from the deluxe edition of Comatose, and it also came from that Comatose Comes Alive DVD as well. So it's cool that they have that bonus track on here. That's cool. That's Christian Rock Hits X 2009, the booklet. That's what a typical layout would look like for at least 3 of the volumes of this X 2009. Now we have X 2010, which only has 15 tracks, not 17. Like they would always advertise it's 17 Christian rock hits. This has 15 on it. Of course, you get the typicals on here, but you get some new bands as well on here. August Burns Red is on here. They're a very good band. Like Guardians last year, excellent. You also get Fireflight showing up here. Fireflight, like I said, it's not great. There's something. And then the Almost, which was Aaron Gillespie's side project on here. So, if it then shows spine to X2009, here it is. Real quick. X2010. That's what it looks like on the back. Yeah, 15 tracks, not 17. So maybe they didn't have that much for it, or maybe whatever. Oh, and I forgot to mention the letter Black, which they did release an album this weekend. It wasn't that it was not good whatsoever. You know, I'm not a fan of the letter Black. I kind of like Hanging On by a Thread, the album, a little bit because I was big on it when it came out, and I have some nostalgia for it. But the rest of their stuff is not good. It's ugh. And then Pillar appears again. So yeah, that's X 2010. It's X 2010. I suddenly got the case of the yawn. Forgive me. Now we have X 2011, and again, not 17 tracks on this. It's 16. I like the design for this one a lot because it's red, and I love the color red. So that's what it is. Actually, this one, Eric Gillespie, his solos. He did a solo album back in the day, and then Manifest, which was another rapper dude, sent by Ravens. That band right there, sent by Ravens. They're super underrated. Definitely worth checking out. Sent by Ravens. Our Graceful Words. That album was great. Abandoned. I don't know much about them. Hero is a decent song. House of Heroes. God Save the Foolish Kings. And Underworld is back in Division when they did not have Eric Gillespie on it, and they had the dude from Norma Jean doing drums. That album, Oh Disambiguation. That album is interesting. So here's that, and then Spine 2, X 2011. I love this layout. I don't know. I just like the color red. I don't know why, and especially when it's combined with black and white as well. So yeah, that's X 2011. Now the final one in the series, X 2012, is right here, and they brought the bonus tracks back on here. So that's cool. So this kind of actually feels more like a traditional X thing. Because you have like Lecrae. I'm not huge on Lecrae really. It was another rapper, Christian rapper. And then you have like Five Iron Frenzy coming back, Icon for Hire. They're kind of who cares really. Nine Lashes. They're underrated. That album, World We View. That album is pretty good. That's Spine. And back right here. They brought the bonus tracks back on here. Yeah. So that's what it is. And Thousand Foot Crushes on here, of course. Then Brett Walker Band. I don't know much about them. Pro, I think that's a rapper, I don't know. And it's sent by Ravens, appears on the bonus tracks again with We're All Liars from Mean What You Say, their final album. They only had two albums. That's kind of unfortunate for them. And I want to do something here. Of course, it has a typical layout, disc layout at least, of the other X albums, 2009 onward, but they brought back the profiles and stuff of the bands. So here's that. Yep. And I want to show this. Yeah, I was showing this one. So yeah, here's that. And then here's this part of it. So yeah, that's what it looked like for this volume. How interesting is that? So that was the end of the X series. But there's more. They also had a worship series, kind of like that. which was interesting. I'm not huge on worship, but I got these because why not? So here's that volume X Worship '06. There's some stuff on here that wasn't on the other one. Some bands here that never appeared on any other X albums, like Delirious. They appeared on X03, but not on any of the others. Telecast, I don't know about them as much. Release the Deep, whatever. Dismas, which I said, that All Search for America album, is honestly kind of unlistenable. Showbread, which I would be interested to check out, something like Silas, Edison Glass, The Showdown. Showdown's actually not that bad. Death Finds Us Breathing is a good song, and here's the layout for X Worship. At least this volume, I think. So yeah, that's pretty solid. The Showdown, Laid to Rest, and all that stuff. Yeah, and they have Under Oath on here, Switchfoot, 1000 Foot Crush. So yeah. And then here's X Worship 2007. They only made 2 volumes of this. There's no X Worship 2010 or something. So it's kind of interesting. There's a Future Force appears here. Starfield, interesting enough. The Fold, Chasing Victory. Like those bands, other bands, and the typical stuff you get. Yeah, 1000 Apologies shows up on here as well, like which was on X06. I mean, like that's very interesting. And then the layout for this X worship was different. Okay. I don't know if the booklet. Let me check if the booklets have the same kind of thing. Yeah, it's the same layout as the other X albums from around the time. So yeah, that's X 2007. That's it for this stream that I have here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a respect for Christian music now. I should say you should be ashamed if to buy Christian music. I mean, if you are a Christian, even if you're not, like you should definitely give some Christian music a chance, especially Christian rock and metal, because that's what a lot of people like. So definitely, if you don't believe in it, that's whatever. But like, you should definitely, because you'll find a lot of stuff that's like reminiscent of some of the stuff you like if you give some of this stuff a chance. So that's kind of what I want to say in this video. Like, if you like new metal bands, you probably will like 1000 Foot Crutch. If you like bands like Breaking Benjamin and stuff, you'll probably like Red. If you like metalcore bands like Killswitch, Engage, Trivium, and all that stuff, you'll probably like Demon Hunter a good bit. And like Under Oath, August Burns Red, those bands, because they have Christian ties. If you like punk rock, you'll probably like MXPX. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So, of course, definitely, through this video, I recommend people to check out some Christian bands. So, definitely do that. Let me know your responses in the comments to what you thought of the X series and the WoW hits. This is Skillet the Wolf signing out. Take care.